Hello, and welcome to the Mid-Am Podcast. We are your hosts. My name is Tyler Munns, and on the other side of the screen for me is my good friend Nathan Furumatsu.
Hey, yo.
And before we get started, we'd like to thank the sponsor of the Mid-Am Podcast, Adele. Oh, no. What the heck? Oh,
Just sing it.
I put up the wrong side. Hello.
Hello.
There it is. I put up the wrong slider.
It's in the morning. My voice just cracked. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm at altitude. It's like there's a lot of things going against us. Nathan, I'm very jealous. Got his irons, his SMS Pro, SMS standard combos. He recently posted a what's in the bag reel on the Mid-Am Podcast Instagram account. So be sure to go follow and check that out because they look sharp. Have you had a chance to hit them yet?
No, I'm going this morning. This morning I will. I've got some stuff to do. We've got family coming over. I'm smoking a brisket and all that other stuff. So I kind of need to be around, clean up a little bit, and then I'm going to run to the driving range before all that happens. And,
it's an experience, dude.
So they say, yeah. I'll do my best to try and film it and stuff.
Yeah, I got my shipping notification, so I'll get mine on Monday. Very excited about that. But in the last couple of months, I know for me and last month or so, for Nathan, we've been both vibing pretty heavily on our new putters, which also come from the great and fine folks at Adele. The Array series of putters engineered for adjustability and total putter customization. The Array lineup from Adele Golf takes the guesswork out of putting with 4 different head shapes, 4 interchangeable hosels, and multiple alignment and weighting options. Now you can confidently roll it knowing that your aim bias and stroke type are accounted for. Learn more at adelegolf.com. That's EDELGOLF.com because even one shot can change everything. So we are recording early in the morning. It's the first time we've ever done that. Relative. It's not super early, but it's relative to when we normally record. And we're doing so for a special reason. We thought it'd be kind of fun. I'm playing in the Oregon AM Qualifier at Oregon Golf Association golf course
today,
and tee off in 5-ish hours. So we thought we'd do kind of a little before and after, first drink, last drink, and just kind of get the vibes and just kind of talk through it. Kind of an interesting opportunity to do that. We haven't done that yet, but this could be cool. Hopefully it's cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I just kind of thought it might be neat in an entire episode to just kind of frame the whole thing. In previous times past, we've had to do a lead up and then we'd play and then a follow up, and it's a week later, and it's
you get to binge the entire season of Oregon AM Qualifier attempt in one go.
That's right.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and also kind of your perspective on a round will change as time passes, and it'll be almost more interesting to be all right.
Yeah, you haven't had any opportunity to process emotions.
Right after.
Yeah,
it's really raw. Just for the clicks. We just want to get Tyler
clickbait
at his wildest. So anyway, I was just kind of wondering, so what's different today? What are you going to do differently today? Because this is tournament number 3, give or take, of 15. What have we learned so far? What do we want to do different today? What have we,
Yeah, the biggest thing that I took away, just mechanically, that I took away from the first go around was trying to steer the ball. And it ended poorly in 2 ways. 1, it didn't go very far, and then 2, it went just as far offline. So my biggest thing today is I want to commit to the shot. I want to hit a club that I know can't go too far and try to hit it hard, force myself to try to hit it hard. So I'm really probably not going to be dialing back any clubs. It's like if I think a 7-iron can get there, like I'm not going to be like, oh, well, why don't I just smooth a 6? Like, nope, I'm going to hit a hard 7 and just deal with it. And I think, at the end of the day, I'll probably hit a higher amount of quality shots than I did, whatever it was, a month and a half ago. Yeah. So like mechanically that's just like my number one thing. It's like just swing like aggressively at, pick good targets. And that's, that's all part of the pre-shot process, but like in the moment, just swing hard, be athletic.
That's a Tiger thing.
Yeah.
Aggressive to conservative targets.
Absolutely.
So, nice. I like it.
Yeah. So, and then like, from a mental standpoint, I've really tried to, I overloaded the system, I think 6 weeks ago. If you look at my yardage book, if like a medical professional looked at it, they would probably get me committed. So I think I like literally boiled everything down. I was like, okay, what are my goals tomorrow? And it's just one, treat every shot with equal levels of like respect, intention, and focus. But that's like, I think a lot of people will think of that as like, okay, even when you have like a 3-footer for bogey, you're not just going to go up there, and take a swipe at it. Like, yes, that's true. But also I'm not going to spend too much time over the drive. Like I'm going to, it's a two-way street. And so it's like, I'm going to like be as I want my process to be as concise as possible. I don't want my brain to have too much opportunity to think.
Yeah.
So like I want to pick my target, like kind of get centered and then step up to the ball and hit the ball within like
8 seconds.
8 seconds. I mean, I want it to feel like within 2 seconds. It'll probably be closer to 10, but like I want it to feel like there's no thinking. You've already done all the thinking. Now we're just going. And so, yeah, so that was the number one. And the number two is just like, be grateful that I'm out playing golf today. And if like, that's it, that's all I care about. I have zero expectation for score. I'm going to have, my dad's going to be on the bag, with me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I told him that like, in the 15 seconds leading up to a shot, I don't want to talk about any, like there's no talking, but like after that, the only thing I want to
not golf
chat, but golf is the only thing we can't talk about. I want to talk about anything other than that.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, be grateful, focus when it's time to focus, and then just let it go and enjoy the day. Get to know my playing partners if they're willing to, to open up, and just be grateful that I'm out there. And like at the end of the day, like whether I shoot 74 or 94, the drive home, like it changes nothing about what my life is like tomorrow. So just deal with it.
Yeah. It's just another test, right? You've got not new processes, but new things you're trying to maintain and focus on. And it's the same course, but maybe you're approaching it probably maybe a little differently. And you'll have to now, because probably the greens are different. Probably the courses, the rough has grown up or something like that. I mean,
it's definitely drier. The pins are
gonna be mean.
They sent them at like 11 o'clock last night, and I happened to still be up, and so
spicy.
I was looking at them. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. I think the whole atmosphere will probably be different too, since it's a am instead of a mid am. Get the little bit of people who are still thinking they're going to turn pro someday, and they're
I'm excited. I hope I'm in a group with a bunch of freaking sticks. I'd love to watch like a lot of good players, like,
yeah, absolutely,
ball out, man.
Yeah.
I really hope that that's the case. We'll see, but
cool.
Yeah, that's
yeah. Well, I'm not on the bag, so it's bound to be worse than last time, but
for sure.
At least you're going to have fun.
So yeah, dad vibes will be strong.
Yep. Well, cool. What else did I have? So obviously, you hope to play well.
Yeah. Always
But
hope to play well.
and we had that whole like discussion on here and on Instagram about like how do we
Mhm.
utilize our passion and things like that. So, um I guess let's just go over like what are your goals for the day? Like what are the things that are the specific things um that you're going to grade yourself on, I guess.
Yeah, so I thought about how I want to kind of grade myself, and really I want to count what I'm going to call the number of quality shots, and that doesn't like that is separated from result, because like you can get a bad bounce, but the way that and I'm gonna have my dad have a little notebook and I'm just gonna tell him like, yeah, that count that one, um, where you know did I stick, did I pick a good target? And that I guess that's going to be like a little bit, there'll be a little post-mortem to that, because it's like that's somewhat results based. It's like, because if I picked a good target, even if it's a miss hit, I'm going to end up in a decent spot. But if I ended up in a really bad spot and it was just your kind of standard like variance of a club, then it's like, okay, I didn't pick a good target. Um, but like the miss hit isn't the reason that that's not a quality shot. It's the target. Like I picked a line that my variance put me in a bad spot. So it's like, did I pick a good target line? Did I walk into the shot and concisely, get into that place, like that play zone, and just go and hit my shot? Um, and then was I like objective in my post shot evaluation of it? So like no whining, no slumping the shoulders, like forcing myself to just be like very as stoic as possible.
Mhm.
So if I do all those things, regardless of where the ball ends up, um, with that caveat of target line, then I'm going to say that that's a quality shot. That means I prepared correctly. I um, I initiated the swing effectively or efficiently or whatever you want to, like, I don't know what the word is for that. And then like my attitude was not necessarily um um influenced by where the ball ended up, or at least wasn't like great, like so greatly influenced that it's gonna like bleed into the next shot. And so like my goal is to have, I'd love to have, I'd love every single shot to be a
Yeah.
quality shot.
Yeah.
But I'd want at least 80% of the shots that I hit to be considered quality shots,
Sure.
because I can control it. There's no reason I can't have 100% of my shots be quality shots. Like that,
Yeah.
like that is an attainable goal. I just have to do it.
Cool.
That's kind of the only thing I want to like judge myself by.
Yeah.
Because like the swing's not feeling, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to keep the positive vibes, but like objectively, like I don't feel super comfortable. Tweaked my back last week and still kind of lingering. It's just, it just feels a little uncomfortable. Like my hands are all torn up. Holding the golf club feels a little bit weird.
Sure.
Like just, little stuff. I don't feel 100%. And so I don't, I don't know. I just don't want to put anything like too mechanical, technical, or results oriented into my mind, because, chances are I'm not going to, the ball's not going to end up exactly where I want it, or maybe anywhere near I want it.
It yeah, never does.
So
I mean, not never, but like
yeah,
mostly
like
always never does.
almost always. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I kind of just wanted to, I don't know, do a fun little check in and not like gas you up, hype you up, but
Yeah.
just make
No,
sure you have the correct things that we've talked about, we've learned all these things that you've told me before. Make sure that we've got them on the brain.
Yeah, the only thing that from like a strategy standpoint is like I kind of went through kind of some of the big mistakes off the tee, last uh, last go
Mm.
around here, and I think I can attribute a lot of it to not taking aggressive enough lines and
Mm.
trusting that if I swing hard, like things are going to work out okay.
Yeah, and you just had some like really uncharacteristic misses.
Yeah,
Like I've never seen you hit the driver so
poorly.
poorly.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, and that was probably just because you were nervous and guidey and
yeah,
not swinging,
but
you
like,
know,
but like on
freely.
yeah, but like on one, like I don't really need to be like. There's so much room. There's so much more room on the right than you think, even though there's out of bounds. But
Yeah,
there's also out
yeah,
of bounds on the left too. So it's like
yeah.
my gut reaction was like, oh, hit it out towards that bunker. It's like, well,
Is there? There's out of bounds left.
if you go, I think if you go through, or that might be
Oh
hazard. Maybe
no,
it's
if you.
hazard.
Oh yeah,
But
if you
so if
hit it
you're
through
if
the fence, it's out of bounds left. Oh, if you
yeah,
do what I did, is
yeah,
that?
yes,
Oh,
yes,
okay, all
yeah,
right,
we've got the
yeah.
resident expert of out of bounds left on
I
hole
know
one
where I know where all out of bounds left is on every single course that's
in
ever been
America.
created in America. If there's OB left, I'll know it.
Zing.
On
Yeah, so like it's like on one, it's like, dude, don't try to like hit it at the bunker and then leave yourself kind of
no,
that weird downhill in the rough lie that, bounces 30 yards forward. It's like, no, just take it like left side of the fairway and it's gonna cut and like just
hit it
trust that. Number two,
hit it
like,
up the middle.
yeah. Number two, like don't like the water. I can carry the water so easily. Like I still don't
Yeah,
like parts of me don't trust that. It's like, dude, you like it's 245 to carry the water. I'm easily carrying it 265. So like just aim it down the left side of the fairway and just roast it and
full
it'll be
send.
fine.
Yeah,
It's like there's a couple things like that where it's just like, dude, like take more of aggressive line off the tee. And just trust that it's going to do what it's going to do. Like my driver's going to cut and then all of my fairway woods are going to draw. That's just
yep,
what they do. So
yep,
just do it.
yep.
So that's the only like kind of mechanical. I was like changing some of my strategy on the tee shots to just like pick an more aggressive line, not reckless, but like don't try to be super safe off the tee. You don't have to. And like I tried that and it worked
It
out
doesn't.
pretty horribly.
Yeah. Well, and I would say too, like knowing you, seeing your game, your driver is a one of the biggest, weapons, I guess, if you were gonna talk about, in your bag. I would try and hit it as much as you can. Even if it's hole uh 10, 11, 12, 13,
14.
14, hit it.
I think
I
I'm
mean,
going to. I like literally. I think I'm gonna just peel it because there's actually quite a bit of room, right?
there's
And
tons of
at the
room.
worst case scenario, I just punch it 100 yards into the center of the fairway,
Yeah.
and I have 120 yards in. Like
Yeah.
best case scenario, it rolls up, and I have like a 7 wood, and I can just hit it up there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think absolutely. You just hit it as much as you can and as hard as you can. And I think you'll probably end up better off.
Yeah. So that's the strategy.
Cool.
Regardless, though, um, I'm gonna get out there and just try to have some fun, dude. Just play some golf, have some fun, and
Yeah,
like
man.
understand that like I have other competitive rounds on the books, and like this isn't the end all be all. And hopefully, I get to play with some really good players, and I think that would be a treat. I'd be very excited to be paired with some like really really solid players.
Yeah.
So,
All
all right,
right.
well,
See you on the other side.
yeah, we'll talk to you in a bit, and then everyone listening along, it'll be instantaneous. All right, we are back.
We're here.
It's been a little over 24 hours since I finished my round. And if you follow me on Instagram and you follow Midam on Instagram, which you should, you likely already know how things turned out. But thought it'd be kind of fun to go through, not quite shot by shot, but kind of hit some of the highlights and talk through what I was feeling, what I was thinking, and I guess kind of grade myself on how well I stuck to the game plan that we talked about yesterday morning. which will have been several seconds ago for you because of the power of and magic of editing. Yeah. So let's get going. First, yeah. So I got there, showed up like an hour early. Um, hit the chipping green um, with my uh, headphones in with tour tempo going, and just kind of getting a good rhythm going. Felt pretty good. Felt like I was controlling distance as well. Went down, hit some putts. They were rolling pretty quick.
Yeah.
Just got used to some of the speed, and then I did something I've never done before. I hit just like 21-foot putts just to see the ball go in the hole like 20 times in a row.
Sure. What brought that on?
I was watching, there's this guy on YouTube. I don't remember what his name is. I sent him a video of him today to you.
Okay. Yeah.
That guy, one of his things is he's just like hit like hundreds of 1-foot putts in a row, like psychologically, just for the psyche to see the ball go in the cup a bunch.
Sure.
I think it kind of made a lot of those 3-footers feel a little less nervy, because I was like, I just saw a bunch of putts go in the hole. I don't know. It worked. Spoiler alert. It worked pretty well, or at least I had a very good putting day. So I might continue to play with that and see if I like it. Yeah. So then I went and hit some balls. My dad showed up about 25, 30 minutes before my tee time. I was hitting some balls, wedges felt pretty good. Irons felt decent. Fairway woods were good. Then when I got to the driver, I started getting real nervous because it was just like left, 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 big right miss, left, right. I just kept getting more and more anxious. I kept getting quicker and quicker, trying to be like, all right, so before the ball was even at its apex, I had teed up another one. So I took a step back, kind of took a breath, got back up there, hit a couple decent ones, just to kind of calm my nerves, and then said, all right, let's go do it. So I kind of talked through. My dad had never caddied or anything like that before. He doesn't know a ton about golf. So I kind of talked him through what to do, and then very specifically what to not do. And we went to the first tee. It was the second to last group out. It was pretty windy all day, very windy. I was the third person to hit. I was feeling great until my name was called, and then started just like hands were sweaty, heart was pumping. Just, yeah, I just felt that those nerves again. And I kind of immediately abandoned the be aggressive off the tee philosophy that we had talked about yesterday morning. What I was supposed to do was like really take it down the right tree line, even though there's out of bounds on the right. Like there's a lot of room there, and just aggressively swing there. And even if it cuts a little bit, it's fine. If it draws, it's fine. If it stays straight, it's fine. I didn't do that. I lined up right at the bunker, and then I think about halfway through the swing, I realized that was a mistake, but I just kept going. Body stalled out, hands flipped over, and it went left. We're watching it. I can't quite see it because I lost it in the overcast day. And then behind me, I just hear this big, like, whoa, yell, like scream, like right in my ear. And it was the starter. He had like watched the ball bounce and like shouted. And so I'm like, oh, that can't be good. I'm not trying to tell you to do your job, man, but I don't think you're supposed to have that kind of reaction.
Super professional.
Yeah, tough.
Oh, damn.
Oh, God, brutal.
I've never seen it so bad.
Yeah, the carnage. And so, it's like second serve, hit it about 295 yards, had less than 50 yards in, right down the line that I wanted to. Walk up to go see if the first one's still in. It was out of bounds by about 11 inches. So I walked over to the one in the fairway, 50-yard kind of chip shot. I executed it really well. Just, probably about 12 feet to the right of the pin, and rolled the putt a little bit farther past than I wanted to, but I made the comebacker. So made double. Player B made par, which will be a theme. So just remember that.
Player B.
Next hole, pulled the drive a little bit, but cranked it over the water. It wasn't really a problem. I was a little bit blocked out by the tree because the pin was on the way left. But at this point is when I realized I didn't have a pin sheet. So I got really flustered about that because I was having trouble like picking a club. And I let that impact kind of the whole process and swing. Didn't make a good iron shot. Chipped it up pretty nicely, but I didn't do a good job of like taking time to kind of read the putt or read how the chip would go. And I like, for some reason thought it was going to break uphill. So I left it like 10 feet right of the pin. And then I just 3-putted from there. Which was really frustrating. So I was pretty heated. Next hole, managed to, get it. It's a tough part 3. We had to wait 20 minutes to hit. Legitimately, there were 2 groups there when we got there, and we had to wait. So I kind of laid the sod over the tee shot, but I chipped up there, 2-putt for bogey. Started to calm down. Absolutely laced a 7-wood off the tee on 4, then hit another 7-wood, laced it. Had about 95 yards in up the hill into the wind. So I just kind of like smoothed the 50 degree. And I thought I hit it like 40 yards past the pin, and I was like whining. I was super whiny as we were walking up to the green to my dad. Cause I'm like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. Why didn't I grab a pin sheet? Of course it's pin high, 15 feet to the right.
Yeah.
Almost made the putt. Got a pin sheet from the rules official, between 4 and 5. But at this point, I'm like, okay, I feel like I've settled in. I'm like not nervous. I'm like, I'm feeling the anxiety of tournament conditions and like tournament atmosphere, but I'm not nervous. I'm not shaking. So get up, absolutely annihilate the drive on 5, like 320. I had 190 yards in to the center of the green. It was like 202 to the pin because it was back. Hit a 4-iron pin high on the right side fringe. Rolled the eagle putt like a couple feet past. Easy 2-putt birdie. Something to note, I had just watched one of my playing partners, though, Tevin, roll in his putt from the fringe on 3 for birdie. Stuck a wedge to like 4 feet on 4, made birdie. And then he also roasted his drive, also hit a great iron shot. This one ended up on the green, and he rolled his eagle putt in. So I watched him go birdie, eagle. Very cool.
So that's a hot stretch.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Next hole, I hit it like 40 feet past the pin. I just didn't club correctly. I was a little juiced up, I think, from the birdie. And then I watched my playing partner leave his putt like way short. And he said like, oh my God, it's so slow. I unfortunately let that impact my, my process. And, I hit mine about 5 feet past. But I made the comebacker. So I was like,
yeah,
okay, cool.
Nice.
Easy, a par there. 7, super into the wind at this point. It was like 2 clubs maybe. I'd planned on going 7-wood off the tee. Then I grabbed 3-wood and I was like, I'm going to commit to this. I probably still should have hit 7-wood, but whatever. I roasted the 3-wood on a frozen rope. Left me 140. I was just in the rough. It kind of ran through the fairway just a little bit. I was 144 yards out. It was uphill into the wind. I figured it was playing about 165, maybe a little more. So I hit 7-iron. Perfect strike, perfect line. Did exactly what I thought I was going to do. Finished like 12, 15 feet right of the pin. And I dripped the birdie putt in on the low side. Made birdie. Was like,
nice.
Pretty excited about that.
Yeah, that's a solid birdie.
Yeah. Well, and the fun part too was my wife had texted me after the birdie on 5 and was like, oh, and it's just like a birdie exclamation point. And I didn't see it until I'd already rolled the putt in on 7. And so I responded to her watch this. And then I was inputting the scores into Golf Genius for everyone. So then I input the score and then the birdie, and then she just texted me another birdie. So that was cool.
What?
3, or so then 8 par 3, perfectly executed shot. It just cut a little more than I wanted to. So I had a really long, like a 45-foot lag putt, got it up there to like 18 inches, easy par.
Nice.
9, hit driver, kind of caught it high on the face. Didn't go super far. Went about 260. Had about 2.
That's pause. That's so funny because last year.
Oh my God, I know. Yeah,
you would have said, I didn't caught it high in the face. Didn't go super far. It went like 215.
Yeah, right.
And this year you're like, oh man, it only went 260. I bunted one out there.
Bunted one out there 260 into the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah. The coolness of that is not lost on me.
Yeah.
Had a good lie in the rough. Use my burrowing animal rules thing. So I was standing on a mole hole that had a hole in it, and so I took a drop, free relief into more favorable lie, thankfully. And I just told myself, like, trying to lay this up doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, I have a good lie. I think if I hit 3 wood good enough, it will hit and roll up onto the green. Took my 3 wood, kind of started stepping into it. And then in my mind, something flashed. It was like, oh, but what if I like leave the face open and it spins up into the wind, into the water? I backed off and I just like told myself, like, nope, like this is the right club to hit. That's your line, the emblem, the OGA emblem on the tent in the distance. That's your line. You're going to hit it right at that. It's going to stay on that and it's not going to move and it's going to roll up right around the green. And I got up there and like, I felt fully committed to that shot and I executed it. Got a little bit of a bad break. It actually rolled right up to the edge of the lip of the bunker on the left greenside bunker. And I'll send you the video, but I had to basically I had to stand about 2 feet in front of the ball and like try to do like a tie spinner thing. But like the farther left I went, if I wanted to hit it exactly at the pin, there was a chance I was going to hit the ball into my leg. Yeah. So I had to take my medicine and chip out about 18 feet to the right. And I did it. And it was like, judged the distance perfectly. Kind of didn't trust my read because I didn't read it from all sides. And I left the putt about 4 feet out to the right, or 4 feet, Jesus, 4 inches out to the right. So I didn't quite have, that would have been horrible.
From 18 feet. I left it 4 feet right.
Yeah. I misread it by 4 feet.
Just pushed it a touch.
Just pushed it a little bit. No. So then, yeah. So, I mean, I obviously horrific start.
Sure.
5 over through 3, but I finished 2 under through the back, so I got it down to 3 over through 9. Yeah. So I was feeling good.
So good. There was a guy, I don't remember who now off the top of my head, but somebody was following along, or no, they saw the story of one of the stories that I posted of your Golf Genius thing. And for whatever reasons, the score on hole 9 wasn't in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And so he was like, oh, make sure to double check the scorecards. We don't want any W or any DQs. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I mean, I know they have paper cards too.
Well, and the annoying thing is Golf Genius is not even, I mean, for like a live tracking standpoint, it's dope, but like, it's not official. The scorecard is official.
So I was like, yeah, but I did, because I had also texted you because there was, I didn't assume that you were going to be on your phone a whole lot, but there was like a couple little like one word, things back and forth. And I had just tossed that in there. It's just like, hey, just so you know, just in case.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't show. I mean, I entered everything, but yeah. So whatever, like par, great.
Yeah.
Walk up to 10. I just carbon copy of 1. Just body stopped moving, turned the hands over, went left.
Oh.
Didn't trust the drive. Didn't trust my line. And it was out of bounds by 8 inches, by less than a footstep. It was tough. I screamed a word, and picked up my ball and walked over to my other one that had hit a tree, came down only 265 yards.
But tree.
I hit it on the right.
Past the pond?
Past the pond on the right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I roasted it, but I
Yeah.
just like took it. It cut more than I thought it was going to, and just hit a tree and came straight down. But it was like still, I had 100 yards in.
Yeah.
Kind of misjudged the wind, so I left it like 30 feet short. But I was so heated, dude. Almost made the putt for bogey. But I was like so mad that, you know, it was actually a really good putt. Easy, you know, easy 2 putt. But I was like, everyone's like, oh, good putt. I was like, yeah, fuck you guys. Like, Tevin, of course, made birdie.
Say good putt right now.
Yeah. Tevin made birdie, so he was on an all-time heater. 11 though. Okay, I'm like, all right. My dad was like, all right, dude, like, what happened on the front 9? You bogeyed the first, and then you came back. Like, that's what we're gonna do. I was like, you know, in my mind, I'm like, you're right. And I'm like, I still want to stew a little bit.
Thanks, Dad. Be quiet.
Yeah. So 11, 500, and 41 yard par. First I want to go back. Sorry, one thing on 9. That tee shot, that second shot into 9. That was my one shot for the front 9. Just like fully committing to that. It just helped me like really feel like I really owned the round, and I was like in control.
Yeah.
Into like, I was in control of my emotions. I was in control of my psyche. I was in control of the ball, like backing off, recommitting, stepping up, executing. Like that really helped me kind of feel really good. So, that was notable for me. Jumping back in, sorry, 11, 541 yard par 5 into the wind. I filleted this drive. 298 into the wind, heavy wind. Absolutely roasted it. So I had like 240 in.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, dude, I was on another planet. Had 240 in, and I was into the wind. So I was like, you know, it's like probably playing 260, but I was like, there's no reason for me to lay up here. I don't want to hit a wedge shot into a 2-club wind because I'm not going to be able to control the distance. So I was like, I should just hit 3-wood down the right side. If I hit it exactly on line and it lands where it's supposed to land, it could roll up to the front of the green. Even if it doesn't, if it stays out right, it's such an easy chip because the pin was in the front. Hit the best 3-wood of like the last 3 years, and it rolled up right to the front of the green. Didn't quite make it on the green, but it rolled. So I'm like 541 yard par 5 into the wind. I almost reached it into. Never in my life.
Here's where we're going to take a moment and thank our new show sponsor, Deer Antler Spray.
Co-signed by Ray Rice.
Yeah.
No. Ray, no. Number 52. Not Ray Rice was the running back. Who was it? Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis
was Deer Antler Spray. And Muhammad Ali. Oh, VJ Singh.
VJ
that's right.
Singh.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So easy chip to like 3 feet, made the putt, birdie. Boom.
Nice. Boom.
Get up to 12, flambéed another drive. 3 something. I'm just making up words at this point, dude.
Into the well of cooking chips. The Maillard reaction.
That's right, dude. Yeah. Yeah. We're getting the sous vide out on, on 14. But I had 130 yards in. It was downwind. It's a 425 yard par 4. Pin was like plus 10, way back. So I had it was like a 310 drive. But 130 yards in. I wanted to land it like 120 because that green was. I watched one of my playing partners hit the green, and no joke, it bounced 4 or 5 feet in the air when it hit the green.
I don't like that green.
So hard, dude.
There's no good angle to come in to it from, it seems like.
Well, the entire left side of it is like unusable.
Usable. Yeah. And then anything right of it is just hosed. I mean, that's what happened to me in the mid-am. Like I missed it by foot or two right, and then it careened down over the cart
Yep.
path by a
Yep.
fence, and it was just like, well, shoot.
Right. Well, I didn't do that. Thankfully, I hit. I was like too much to ask my gap wedge. I don't think I can like make a good swing and get it all the way there. So I'm like, all right, I'll just really smooth a pitching wedge. And it went a little long, but right side, just on the fringe, probably like 25 feet. Easy 2-putt par, no problem. 13, picked my line perfectly, hit the right club, trusted that it was going to get there, just pushed it a little bit into the right side rough, almost chipped in, hit it to like 2 inches. Easy par. 14, we had talked about this. Okay, so this was if I want to say this like one shot of the round, this was it. We had talked about it. We said, you told me, what did you tell me?
I said hit driver.
Because it's a weapon.
It's exactly.
And I had just absolutely roasted the last. Yeah, I absolutely. Yeah, I roasted the summer squash out of the last 2 that I'd hit. And so I was like, let's do it for better, for worse, get up there, hit the driver as hard as I can, hit it as hard as I could. Never seen this ball go so straight. 335, 340.
Oh my goodness.
Just like everyone watching was in awe.
Just pound,
including myself. I was like, I can't believe I just did that.
Yeah.
So get up there and I'm like, at first I'm like, okay, the lie's good. Great lie. There were like divots around it and I was in a hard pan dry spot, but I'm like, it's not in a divot. Lie's fine. Grab my 4-iron. I had like 180 yards uphill. So I was like, 4 irons, plenty. And I kind of get up to it and there's just this little kind of like abnormality right behind the ball that just feels like there's a little bump behind it. And I just like, I felt that. And then all of a sudden, like my mind started racing as I was standing over the ball. And what I should have done is I should have just backed off and said, okay, lie is not as good as I had thought it was. There's something there. It's going to be a little bit. So what do I need to do? I need to put this ball in the back of my stance a little bit. I need to punch down. I need to know that it's probably going to come out kind of right and spinning to cut right. Let's adjust our target line. Let's adjust the trajectory we're seeing in our mind. Like, let's do all these things to prepare for a less than ideal kind of impact zone area. Didn't do any of that.
Good.
Yeah. Good. I just made the swing. I kind of skinnied it a little bit. It starts at the center of the green and very quickly kind of tails off to the right. It hits 3/4 of the way up the hill and then bounces hard right down. And I'm like, shit, I think I just bounced that into the hazard. I was going to be able to drop from the other side, but I'm just like, what a wasted opportunity. We get up there. We get up there. Ball's fine. Ball's fine. It's in a little bit of a hole. So it was a tough lie. Ball was probably 20 inches above my feet. But I was like, whatever, this is fine. I'm just going to get this onto the green and I'm going to be happy with par because par is fine. I get up there, hit the chip, fine. To about probably 15, 18 feet, get up there, rolled the putt in.
Nice.
Birdie, So I was like, okay, cool.
Throw.
Not too bad.
Saving kids' lives.
Saving just one birdie at a time.
1 birdie at a time.
15. This one drive didn't trust the line, which was frustrating because it's like, dude, you just hit 3 phenomenal drives in a row. Like, why wouldn't you trust this? Like, why would you not be remotely aggressive on this line? What I should have done is taken it
that hole.
Yeah, I should have taken it
green light special.
I could have driven the green, dude.
Yeah,
literally.
Especially with a reverse sear and maybe like a compound butter action happening.
That's right. Yeah, exactly, dude. And then we do like a nice like peel off risotto.
Yeah.
I I should have taken it over that bunker on the left. Instead, I went straight down the middle of the fairway, and then it cut into the side hill. So I had a tree kind of blocking me a little bit. So what I should have done, because the pin was in the front, I had 75, 8 yards, 80 yards, something like that. What I should have done is I should have went low. I should have chipped it and just try to run it up onto the front of the green. Even if I left it short, like very front of the green, but on the fringe, I'd have like a 25, 30 foot putt up the hill, maybe make birdie.
Yeah.
Par is super easy. I've decided to go the high route. And then halfway through this swing, I'm like, I realized like I can't get I'm too close to the tree to get it over the tree and get it there. So I like flipped the hands and basically hit a flop shot that only went about 60 yards. Then I just kind of rushed the chip shot, left it, I don't know, probably 12 feet short, 15 feet short. Did make the putt, made bogey. So I was just a little bit bummed that I really kind of, it's like my brain took that hole off, which was very annoying. It's like one where, especially that front pin location, as a good opportunity to maybe make something really special happen. But whatever, bogeys aren't the end of the world.
Yeah.
16, get up, hit a good drive. Had about 198 up the hill into a heavy wind. Pin was all the way back. I was like, oh, I'll hit 7 wood. It can't get all the way. Like it might get all the way there, but you know, I don't think it will. Cause I mean, it's probably playing 220, maybe more. And so I hit the 7 wood, not great, but it was on line, kind of down the left side. We get up there. It actually had skipped all the way through the back and was actually in kind of a similar spot to where you were, but the pin was farther right if you're looking at the hole from the approach shot, or
I don't know what that was.
Or farther left if you're looking at the chip. So
yeah,
you had to kind of
much worse.
Yeah,
I mean,
it wasn't
tipping across onto like a slope that runs away from you versus it was kind of in the collection area.
Yeah, it was essentially short-sighted. I misjudged how much the rough was healthy all day. I misjudged how much resistance I would get from the rough. I'd actually judged it really well back on 13, where at first I had my 59 degree, and then I was like, no, this rough is too thick. I need the 54 or 55, and then I'll open it up a little bit and chop down. This time I didn't do that, so I left it like 25 feet short, downhill putt. Rolled it in. 6 feet from the hole. I was walking it. I was like, that's it. I walked it in. Huge fist pump. I was like, dude, such a good putt. Like, I
engineered for total customizability. And
yeah, exactly. Thank you, Adele.
Hello.
17, picked the right club. I just didn't trust the line enough. And I kind of flailed it out to the right. It ended up on the left side of that bunker in the rough, kind of a weird uphill side hill lie. I chipped it to like 3 feet, and made the putt like no problem. But I will say the funniest part is the entire time I was getting ready to chip, one of the marshals had been following us. He parked his cart and the thing beeped. It was beeping and he wasn't hearing. He's standing right next to it and he's not hearing it. And I'm looking at him and he's looking at me.
Guy?
No, different guy.
Oh, okay.
But this cart is beeping. I'm like, okay, he's not going to do anything about it. Let's like, Tyler, don't get frustrated. Like you can hit this chip with that. It's fine. So I did it. But I was the first one to hit. The next 3 guys out have to hit. It's beeping the entire time. They're trying to hit. He gets in the cart. It's still beeping. He's like driving it, like peels out, drives it up the gravel road or whatever. It's still beeping. He like flips a Yui through like the trees. And so he's like hitting branches. And like, meanwhile, poor Joseph Baker is trying to putt, Tevin's trying to line up a chip. Like, I'm looking at him the entire time. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like, why are you even here?
Goodness. Oh my goodness.
I gave him dirty looks, man. I was like, this guy is annoying. And so, whatever. We're walking up to 18 and no joke, he follows behind in the car, me and my dad walking at like 4 feet, just slow roll. And my dad's like, what's with this guy? I'm like, I don't know, man.
Bro,
I don't know.
You got a problem, man?
Yeah. So I'll say, set the scene, run 18. What I did not know at the time was that I was on the cut line.
Yeah, you were
over.
in. You
had no idea. Probably should have checked.
Well, I
don't know if it would have made a difference, but I don't know. I feel like me knowing, hey, if you make birdie here, you're in. Yeah. I think that the hole may have gone differently. In a positive way. I tend to, if I have such a clear focus point, tend to be able to do better with that. When I feel like I have to hold on to something, it's a little different. When I feel like I have to chase something, and that's not unique. Like a lot of people are like that.
Sure.
Anyway, carbon copy of 1 in 10, hit it left, skipped over the bunker, out by 12 inches. So I lost 3 balls out of bounds by a combined 3 feet.
That
roughly.
sucks.
6 strokes.
That sucks.
Very upset, obviously. Second drive, absolutely roasted it. Had 120 in or something like that.
Tossed it on the pellet smoker. It's just
that's right. Actually, no, it was 130 in. Wind was way in. I was playing at like 145. I chipped an 8 iron to 11 feet, 10 feet left of the pin high. Really good shot. And I was like, walked up there and I was like, dude, there's no way this putt's not going in. I'm like, this is in the hole. I know it. I know this is in the hole. I'm not even worried about it. Like, I just felt like it was going to go in. I hit the putt and I think just the gust of wind was the wind was gusting with the break. And I truly believe like the wind just pushed it offline enough to where it missed, burned the edge on the low side. I don't think if that wind's not there, I think I hit that in the heart. But I wasn't mad because I'm like, hey, I made I hit the putt. Like I made the putt in my mind because that was exactly what it was supposed to do. Yeah. So another bogey, so double rather. So 4 doubles, 3 of which were due to out of bounds balls. Player B parred all 3 of those doubles. And player B shoots a 72.
Nice.
Player A shot a 78. Missed out on the. I sat down at the scores table and we're doing our thing, and the gal there was like, "Well, now did anyone shoot a 76 or better?" I was like, "Excuse me, what?" She goes, 76 or better. I'm like, 76 is in. She goes,
one more time.
Yeah. I was like, no. She goes, what happened? I'm like, I just doubled 18 to shoot a 78. She goes, oh no, honey. Yeah.
Oh.
So so that was my Oregon AM qualifying round. A little bit better than the mid am.
Way better. I mean, you had a little bit of me in there showing up with the OB lefts. But yeah, man, some heckin' good golf in the interim. So very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
What's next? Well, so anyway, I was obviously was elated. I was very proud of like the way that I fought, especially starting that way and then having the hiccup, kind of mid round. And I just stayed in it, man. And, but then I woke up this morning and I felt not really disappointed, but I felt disappointed because I'm like, dude, I could have qualified. It was right there. I could have done it. I didn't think I would even be close.
Yeah.
And I could have done it. And now I'm bummed. And like upon reflection, it was very quick analysis to be like, that is so cool. It's so cool to be bummed that I shot 78 in very windy, very firm green, golf course in tournament conditions in, what is supposed to be a more competitive field. and I went out there and I did it, man. And especially leading up to this thing, like the swing has felt horrible. My hands are all torn up. My back hurts. Like
Couldn't
all these
chip.
things were against me. Just wasn't feeling great. And I battled, and it's not like I hit I hit the shit out of the driver for the most part, but it's not like I was like striping my iron super well. I chipped and putt really, really well, like uncharacteristically well, but it didn't feel like I was careering. It didn't feel like one of those things where it was like, oh my God, I can't believe that did that. It was like, no, that's what I expected it to do, because like, I don't know. I just felt like I made a big step forward with the short game stuff. Um, it just felt like was like what I was supposed to be doing. It didn't feel like I was an imposter in that situation. Like I feel like I 100% own that score, that I made that score. It wasn't circumstances. It wasn't the stars aligning. It was, I went out there and I did that and I almost made it. And I know now that I know I can do it. I know I belong out there. I know I can compete. I'm not just someone that's filling a tee time, that doesn't have a shot. So that was cool.
That is very cool. Well, I'm proud of you. It was fun to follow along and watch, and like I this is always the case. The other people in your life that know, like I have no doubts about whether or not you belong out there and what you're capable of, and like I've seen you play. So, it's always nice to it's fun as a fan and spectator, and then like, friend, to watch that happen. So pretty good job. Yeah, 4 birdies for the kids.
4 birdies for the kids.
It's awesome.
Tournament birdies too. Lowest tournament round for me ever.
Nice.
For now. Yeah. Yeah, lowest tournament round. Most birdies in a tournament round. Certainly, played it from 6,600 yards with quite a bit of wind. Like, it's not quite US Open qualifying, but like I felt like I overpowered the course today. I'll tell you that. I reached every single par 5 in 2, or just about, it was like right around there.
Yeah.
That's not me, man. That's never been me. So this is kind of uncharted territory. But now it's like, dude, I can't wait to get out and practice. I can't wait to get out and like, okay, let's work on the driver. Let's work on like really, like getting comfortable with the swing, and removing those quick lefts, and let's build on the success of the short game. Let's putt, and let's work on the, I don't know. I'm just really amped to like get after it and say, hey, I've got 13 more tournament rounds scheduled right now. I'm, which will put me well over the 15 that I had planned. So now it's like, hey, can I get it in 25? Like, I don't know. I just want to get more comfortable. So
yeah,
that's it.
Cool. Awesome.
Well, hey everyone. I want to say, for anyone who followed along, thank you for the kind messages. It was, like, obviously it's a double-edged sword for what we do when we put stuff out there like that. It can be incredibly embarrassing, like going out and shooting an 87,
or 91
or whatever, like, like that, obviously, like that's humbling, but when things go well, it's fun to, to see a bunch of messages and texts and all that stuff. Like, just to know that people like were actually, other people other than my friend Nathan and my wife and my sisters, following along, and telling me like, dude, I was following, like, oh my God, I can't believe you made that birdie on 14, blah, blah, blah. Like, you were so close. And, I just, that it really like made this whole thing a million times better, knowing that there was like people at home rooting me on. So, and I think that makes a difference. I think that energy made its way to me somehow. So thank you. You can find us on Instagram at Mid-Am Podcast. You can find me at Fade and Fairway. You can find Nathan at Nathan.Firmasu and at Thistle Leather Goods. Please be sure to check out the Birdie-a-thon. We just obviously added 4 more to the tally, and then Nathan and I are playing on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll add some more.
I added a couple last week too. Last week. Yeah.
Nice. So. I'm getting my new irons tomorrow. Very excited.
I love mine.
I know you do. I know you do. Yeah. So, thanks everyone for listening. And, until next time, talk to you later. Bye.
See ya.